Hey folks, I'm just leaving a way station that's closed on US 27 in Iowa, heading south, coming from St. Paul, Minnesota. There really wasn't a whole lot to see, and I figured I'd make a video on the way back. I started making a video on the way up to St. Paul, but upon the advice of my mother, I took it down because of, well, what am I going to say? But yeah, I'm almost 60, and my mom tells me what to do. She's 90 years old. Trust me, folks, it never ends. When you get here, in this stage in life, it will be the same for you too. So yeah, I'm 60 and my 91-year-old mom still has a positive influence on my life, looking out for me and my well-being. I love it. But you're going to see why this is going to be a short video, and hopefully you're going to see why I like driving, why I started driving after I moved to Tennessee. Because, excuse me, there's a mosquito in here. Because what you see right now, this is actually scenic for Iowa and South Dakota. This type, you know, the plains. Iowa is actually hillier than South Dakota, at least a lot of places in South Dakota. There's isolated places there that are hilly, but in general it's flat. And there's a wind farm over there. Woo! To me, that's future garbage. They never should have put them up. The whole Great Plains are going to be a trash yard full of those things. But nobody cares because, you know, nobody lives out here. So the powers that be that decided those were going to be there, they don't ever have to look at them, so they don't care. But it's like, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Consistently kind of hilly, you know, wavy, more or less, like Teletubby Land. Are y'all familiar with that? It's like that throughout. There's portions of South Dakota that are just flat. North Dakota's even flatter. So, believe it or not, what you're looking at here is not as flat as the world gets. I'm going to figure out why this is not focusing. Yeah. So you can see a long ways here. South Dakota, you can see even further. This is Iowa. South Dakota, it's so flat, all the roads are in a straight line, and unless there's a physical feature like a river or a lake, there's no reason for the road to turn. You can be on a road and come to a little rise, and you'll be able to see that road disappear into a pinpoint on the horizon. And they all go north, south, east, west. They're straight. None of it's just wandering southwest shit and northeast and for willy-nilly reason. No, it's a grid. It was laid out like that because of the nature of the terrain. It's just laid it out in 1 mile squares and said, yep, here's your piece of land for your homestead at such and such mile west by such and such mile north. That's the section you live on. This is the quarter of that section that is your land. Here's your 160 acre homestead. When you get there ain't nothing there. Not a tree, not a fence post, ain't nothing but grass. So you start cutting bricks out of the side, making a house. Because you got a family with you, you got to build shelter. And then you have food. Then you got to start building a farm. Plowing. Where's your horse? Where's your plow? Where do those come from? Talk about living off the grid. Oh shit, those people are nuts. No wood, so you had to burn cow manure for fuel in the wintertime. In your basically dirt igloo made out of side. This is going to be a short video because there ain't no reason to be making it an hour long or even 20 minutes because this is it. Trust me. It's pretty much like this until you get to Missouri. And even then it's just a little bit hillier. And you got St. Louis and that crap. It ain't till you get to Kentucky that you start getting into some actual terrain. And then, you're back into Tennessee by Nashville and coming into Nashville and stuff. Now you start getting into some more serious stuff with some cutouts and actual up and down and turning for no reason and trees forever in every direction. Tennessee, there's down this wide open where there's no trees and stuff. There's the only place there isn't trees is where they've been removed to put up a building or a road. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's areas that are open and can have cattle and stuff. But in general, not wide open like this forever when there's just occasional trees. No. Tennessee and all up and down the East Coast, you gotta have the forest fighters. And that's the crews that go along the interstate and keep trimming back the forest. they didn't. The interstates would just get overgrown and swallowed up by the forest again. It's nothing but a road passing through a forest. Looks like we're coming up on some rain. So much, I was sitting in the left lane, got past that guy in the semi. He's only about a length behind me, so it's not like I was over there too long. That wasn't rain, that was dust being kicked up off this gravel road here from some guy hauling asphalt again. Something else most people aren't used to either. Out here in the plains, there's hundreds of miles, if not thousands of miles of gravel roads. I don't know about Iowa, but like in South Dakota, there's only a blacktop road about every 10 miles going north, south, east, west. Everything in between is gravel. That'll be like a county road. And you have state highways and U.S. highways occasionally. But majority of the roads are all gravel. Learned how to do some cool driving on them. That my mom doesn't want to hear about, even though she's 91. I can tell my stuff. My mom's stuff that I did in New Orleans when I was in grade school, and they'll just make her stop and go, stop, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it. It's not like I was robbing banks and killing people. I was just going off on adventures and what apparently were very dangerous parts of town for a kid in grade school to be riding his bike through on his own. If somebody did what I did today, they'd be on a milk cart. I said, you think this is flat, you ain't seen nothing. And this is pretty boring to me. That's why this video ain't gonna be very long. Up there yesterday at like 2:30 in the afternoon to make my delivery, and they said you're late. It was rescheduled for the following day, 10 a.m. this morning. So I had to sit there all night from 2 in the afternoon until 10 this morning. Then they got me in my door late. Got unloaded, went and made my pickup, and here I am. I got loaded in my backhaul. Taking a bunch of compressed bricks of, huge bricks of aluminum cans to a facility Tennessee that's like 5 miles from the home base for the company I work for, and they smelt everything down and refine it into aluminum, just pure, big aluminum ingots for raw material to be used in the industry. Ingots are flattened across the top, and they're kind of like a T, but the vertical part of the T is only about maybe a foot tall, and the ingot will rest on that vertical part, and that leaves 2 spots for a forklift to go in underneath and pick it up. We stack them like that. So if you look at it from the top, they're like 3.5 feet by 3.5 feet. If you look at it from the end, it looks like a T. The whole thing might be 2 feet tall, but like 6 inches of it being that vertical T part. Just enough to give it a gap to put the going to end up using a lot of that in the automotive industry in Tennessee. There is a lot of automotive there. Big Volkswagen plant over by Nashville for one. A whole bunch of stuff. I forget how many counties are in Tennessee, but there's like 8 that don't have something to do with the automotive industry, you know. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but that's really way up there. It's a very small number that doesn't have some sort of company to do with the automotive industry. For Iowa. See these guys passing me? Especially in South Dakota where it's so flat. This is the most exciting part of your drive. And you soak up every minute of it as you are passing somebody and moving over into the other lane, because once you do that, you're sitting in the right lane for who knows how the hell long. Going in a straight line. Nothing to do. Just sitting there. Anyway, you get the point. It's boring up here. So, since my folks live up here, there's no need for me to show them any more of this. And nobody else that watches these videos is interested in being bored. So, tomorrow, when I start getting back in Tennessee, I'll make another vid. That's what Joe sees.